On the 4th of July, Meghan Markle picked one of the most patriotic days in America to remind everyone that her marriage still exists. At first glance, it seemed innocent enough: red, white, and blue cupcakes, a family-themed Instagram post, and a nostalgic nod to her second date with Harry. But when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it starts to feel less like a sweet tradition and more like a staged PR campaign, trying to convince everyone that the fairy tale is still real. Meghan posted a story about how Harry brought her cupcakes on the 4th of July back in 2016. Yes, she still calls him H. Not Harry, not even husband, just H. It's as if he's become a side character in her carefully constructed narrative. If you've ever dealt with narcissists or control freaks, you know that reducing someone to a nickname is often the first sign of emotional diminishment. When you're trying to make someone feel smaller, you don't call them by their full name. And that's exactly what this feels like. Meghan is turning Harry into a sidekick in his own life. Now, cupcakes aren't the problem. The problem is the overkill. The sugary symbolism is being served up as a distraction. Look over here. We're happy. See, patriotic sprinkles and all. But it doesn't work because happy couples don't try this hard. And they certainly don't keep dragging out memories from 9 years ago just to prove the connection is still alive. First, the Queen was very keen on Meghan. She welcomed her. She thought she'd be great. But then, like many others, she started to see a different side of her. Slowly but surely, doubts started to creep in, and it gradually ruined her relationship with Harry, which was once very close. It's like blowing air into a balloon with a hole in it. No matter how hard you puff, it's still deflating. Now, if you think Meghan's Instagram is just a harmless celebration, remember this: she ramped up her social media presence after the divorce rumors started swirling. This isn't about nostalgia. It's a soft launch of her post-Harry rebrand. Meghan knows the public is skeptical, so she's spinning fairy dust into content and hoping we'll forget the cracks that have already formed. Meanwhile, poor Harry is just along for the ride. The problem, bless his heart, is that Harry is neither bright nor strong, while Meghan is both. And we are watching her trample over him. Harry has gone from being one of the most famous men on earth, a war veteran, a royal heartthrob, and the beloved son of Princess Diana, to an occasional guest star in Meghan's curated feed. When he's not baking cupcakes or posing in throwback selfies, he's carrying her bags around New York or attempting to hold her hand in public while she pulls away like he's a stranger asking for change. But don't just take it from a skeptical onlooker. Even Queen Elizabeth knew the score. According to her closest friend, the late Queen believed Harry genuinely loved Meghan, but Meghan didn't love him back. That's not gossip. That's wisdom from someone who watched the story unfold up close. Meghan wasn't swept off her feet by a prince, she was running her playbook from day one. While she's busy crafting charcuterie boards and calling them gourmet cuisine, Harry's role continues to shrink. At this point, even her fruit salads are getting more screen time than him. And can we talk about that sad excuse for a July 4th spread? Cheese and crackers on top of watermelon. Strawberries with the leafy bits still attached. It's the culinary equivalent of their marriage: messy, awkward, and trying too hard to be something it's not. So when you see those cupcakes pop up on your feed, don't be fooled. That's not love. That's optics. That's crisis management in frosting form. The more Meghan tries to sell this perfect couple image, the more obvious it becomes that she's selling, not sharing. Because when love is real, you don't need cupcakes and filters to prove it. You just know. Las Vegas might be loud, but even Sin City couldn't drown out the awkward truth behind Meghan and Harry's public display. On a day meant to celebrate independence, what we really saw was a man who's lost his own. And the irony couldn't be louder. Harry, a royal by birth, now seems like a +1 in his own relationship. It's like watching someone play a background role in a movie they were supposed to headline. While Meghan polished her social media narrative, complete with curated lighting and Pinterest-worthy plating, Harry just stood there. There was no spark, no authenticity, just stiff smiles and cupcake flashbacks, hoping people would confuse nostalgia with love. But if you've been watching them closely, you already know Harry's not leading anything anymore. He's being led. Take his latest attempts to speak out or advocate for causes. Where is Meghan? Nowhere in sight. She shows up when it's about her Netflix series, podcasts, or interviews about herself. But when Harry is in the spotlight, talking about mental health or veterans, suddenly she's gone. And when she does show up, it's usually to outshine. Look at her white pantsuits, strutting at events that are supposed to be about the wounded soldiers Harry dedicated his heart to. She doesn't amplify his causes, she hijacks them. Meghan's latest food fiasco is the perfect metaphor. She didn't just toss together fruit and cheese like a casual summer platter, she turned it into content. Watermelon rubbing shoulders with cheese cubes. Soggy crackers drowning under strawberries with the stems still on. It's not food, it's Instagram bait. And Harry? He's just another prop, stuck between the crackers and the cupcakes. But the most disturbing part isn't the soggy snack plate or the cheesy social posts. It's how calculated it all is. Meghan knows exactly what she's doing. She understands the value of perception, the power of a well-timed photo, and the currency of curated intimacy. Posting about their special day wasn't about sharing joy. It was about distracting from the tension that's clearly brewing underneath. And that makes it all feel a little desperate. Even the language Meghan uses tells a story. Calling Harry H sounds cute to some, but it strips away his identity. This is Prince Harry, son of a king, brother to a future king, veteran, and humanitarian. But to Meghan, he's just H, the man who brings her cupcakes, poses for soft-focus selfies, and plays husband in a rom-com that's losing its plot. While she invests in this online image, Harry seems to be losing grip on everything else. Their charitable foundation is in shambles. The Invictus Games, once a beacon of pride, now feel overshadowed by personal drama and political posturing. And let's not forget, he doesn't have a real job anymore. No palace duties, no military role, no concrete career to speak of. Just guest appearances, ghost-written books, and damage control. The pressure to maintain appearances is clearly getting to both of them. But where Meghan thrives in the spotlight, Harry seems to be fading in it. He's gone from being the charming, rebellious royal to a man who looks like he's constantly trying to remember his lines. And you can't help but feel a bit sorry for him. Not because he's weak, but because he's clearly lost in a world where nothing feels grounded. So when people see those Instagram posts and cupcake tributes, they're not buying love. They're watching a slow, glitter-covered unraveling of something that was supposed to be timeless. And beneath all the filters and fluff, there's one uncomfortable truth: some fairy tales don't survive reality.